Networking and marketing made simple is for you, the business owner who has a product, a service, or a message that you believe in. My name is Scott Aaron, and each week we'll take a behind-the-scenes look into the real-world marketing and networking tactics and strategies for getting what you have in front of you to a lot more people. Thanks for spending time with me, and now let's get started. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Networking and Marketing Made Simple. Super excited to have you back here today. So before I dive into today's episode, as I mentioned on Monday, my wife, the amazing Nancy Evans Aaron, is releasing her first book, How to Grow Your Personal Brand on Social Media. This is something she's been working on for well over a year, and it's finally coming to fruition. She has a wait list, so you'll be the first to be notified when it is officially out for purchase. I'm going to leave that wait list registration link in the description of this episode so you can be notified. We have a hard date, an expected date of release of February 28th, but again, making sure that publishing and formatting and all that stuff is ready, but just sign up for that wait list. So for anyone that's looking to grow their personal brand on social media, this book is for you. It will answer so many of your questions and set you on a path of where you really need to go online. So super excited about that, but also super excited about today's episode. As I mentioned in the earlier episode this past Monday, I talked about the negatives of being in an engagement pod. And a lot of people were like, okay, well, you know, if that's the way that I shouldn't do it, and the way that I should do it is creating engaging posts and content on my own, what do I do? Now, I did do an episode recently on how to create engaging content on LinkedIn. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over how to create an engaging post. Now, this came from, I did some market research. I did a poll about a week and a half ago. And I said to people, you know, what type of content do you prefer to engage with? Do you engage typically with newsletters or articles, polls, posts, video? And the overwhelming response, almost 80%, people said they preferred to engage in posts. So I said, okay, let me take that information and let me teach everyone the structure, I would say 5 steps, but there's a 6th bonus step of what you can do to create an engaging post on LinkedIn. Now, there are so many ways to create content on LinkedIn. As I mentioned, you can create a basic post, you can shoot a native video, you can publish an article or a newsletter, which I do weekly, you can post a poll, which I do twice a week, and you can even do a LinkedIn Live, which I also do twice a week. One of the most simple and basic ways to do so is by creating a long form post. So up to 3,000 characters on LinkedIn. For anyone that's struggling with just getting started on LinkedIn as a content creator, which we all should be, this is a great place to start. But the problem is this. Many people struggle with how to structure that post to engage their audience. You know, some of the common questions that come up are, what should I say? How long does the post need to be? Do I need to include any hashtags? Should I have a call to action at the end? You know, what do I say? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break down exactly how to start creating engaging, thoughtful, and meaningful content through posting on LinkedIn. So there's a 5-step process. The first step is create a thought-provoking title. This will ensure that the reader not only knows what you're going to talk about, but when it's a very thought-provoking and engaging title, it stops the person in their tracks, and this is exactly what you want. You want something that is attention-grabbing, such as, 6 ways to grow your business on LinkedIn right now. If someone stumbles upon that post that truly wants to grow their business using LinkedIn in this example, you better believe they're going to read it, which is going to also have them to come back for more or want to engage further. The second thing that you want to do after creating that thought-provoking title is relate the content to yourself first. You will always get someone to engage with you as the reader if they know the person who created that piece of content has been there and done that. Put yourself in that person's shoes. All too often, we tend to just give advice without truly relating it back to ourselves. We just tell people what they should do. The reader wants to know that that person who wrote that post experienced what they are going through or growing through right now. The reader wants to know the person who created that post and they're understood where they're coming from. Again, you want to raise the level of connection and lower the wall of resistance. You are more likely to get a raving fan or someone coming back time and time again if you make sure that what you post relates back to you and your journey, how you overcame it, and how someone else can do the same exact thing. Now, after you create that thought-provoking title, you then relate that content back to yourself first in a couple sentences. Give some tangible tips or how-tos in regards to what you did. The fact of the matter is how-to and list posts on LinkedIn get 3 to 5 times more engagement than just a basic motivational or inspirational quote post, which you see a lot of people doing. What we forget is there are 2 main reasons why people are on LinkedIn. The first reason is they want to network and collaborate with others, which we've spoken about before. The second thing is people want to be educated and informed about something related to themselves and their business journey, which we've also talked about, right? They want to be educated. They want to be informed. They want to be made aware of certain things. So give people what they want. Give 3 or 4 tangible tips or takeaways that can be immediately applied to their lives and their businesses. This is going to move the needle forward for them. This will bring the reader back time and time again because they truly know every time you produce a piece of thought-provoking content, it's going to teach them something of value so they constantly want to learn. Now, after you have the title, you relate it back to yourself, you give those how-tos or tips, then you're going to end it with a call to action. Now, this is something I get asked about all the time. I've said it before, but I'm going to remind you one last time. Well, maybe not one last time. I'm going to remind you constantly. Questions lead to answers and statements lead to nowhere. You have to ASK to GET. You have to ask in order to get. One of the simplest and easiest ways to create organic engagement in your content on LinkedIn is to simply ask the reader to take action. A couple examples. What tip did you find most helpful? Which of the mentioned tips are you going to apply right away? What was your biggest takeaway from this post? If you want to find out what the reader thinks or how they feel or what they took away, simply just ask a question at the end of your post. Questions lead to answers, statements lead to nowhere. Now, the fifth and final thing that you can do, so you have your title, you've humanized it back to yourself, you've given some how-tos, you finished with that call to action. Now you're going to finish by using some targeted hashtags. Using specific hashtags will allow yourself to be positioned in the newsfeed of the people that you want to see your content. This is how LinkedIn filters out a lot of the garbage. A lot of people on LinkedIn follow certain hashtags to make sure that they see that content before anything else in their newsfeed. Take full advantage of this. You don't want to miss out. If you are going to finish your piece of content with hashtags, make sure you do these 3 things. The first thing is make sure that you use no less than 3 and no more than 5 hashtags to take full advantage of the visibility that they create. So not 1 or 2, 3, 4, or 5 hashtags. Make sure you use hashtags that are related to your content or use hashtags that your ideal audience would be following. So I typically use hashtag LinkedIn, hashtag LinkedIn tips, hashtag LinkedIn business, hashtag content, whatever it's related to. And also make sure that one of your hashtags, so if you're doing 3 hashtags, one of the 3, if you're doing 4, one of the 4, or one of the 5, make sure it's your own personal hashtag for branding purposes. For example, my personal hashtag, if you look at any of my content on LinkedIn, is hashtag linked leads, LINKED LEADS. That is my personal hashtag that I use every single time. When people follow your personal hashtag, you will get first visibility with each of those people each time you post a new piece of content. And each time that you use that specific hashtag, it's going to come up in their newsfeed. So I invite all of you, go to that hashtag on LinkedIn, hashtag linked leads, LINKED LEADS. That's my hashtag. And you'll see all my content every single time something goes out. Now, you have your engaging title. You've humanized it yourself. You've given some how-tos and tips. You finish with that call to action, and you have your 3 to 5 hashtags. There is one bonus thing that you can do in the very beginning that is not spammy, but it will help you start to get some organic engagement. Tag a few people in the comments. So after you post it and it's posted, go into the comments, tag a few people in the comments that you know that would resonate with what you wrote. Don't go crazy tagging 1,800 people in the comments. I've seen it. And I've also been subjected to be having one of those 1,800 people as myself in that content. So don't do that. Only tag about 2 to 3 people that you know, like, and trust, and you know would truly resonate with that piece of content that you posted. Do not do this every single post. Don't. Do this maybe 1 or 2 times per week to bring more organic engagement from the people that you have tagged and their networks that will now see your content when they engage. Now, this could be ex-coworkers, current coworkers, clients, ex-clients, people that you collaborate with. 2 to 3 people. But make sure that you're tagging people that truly would resonate with this. So remember, this is the simple framework to creating highly engaged posts on LinkedIn to get started. You have that engaging, thought-provoking title. You relate it back to yourself. You have those tangible tips and takeaways, right? Giving them something to do. Your call to action, your hashtags, and the bonus is tagging 2 to 3 people. Now, as a reminder, don't forget the wait list to join for my wife's first book, How to Build Your Personal Brand on Social Media, is in the description of this episode. I invite you to all sign up for this. It's going to be an incredible book. It's going to teach you everything from A to Z, everything that you need to do to build your personal brand on social media. It's going to be epic. You're going to love the book. You already love her. So if you love her, imagine how much you're going to love this book. So everyone, I hope you found today's episode helpful. Please enjoy the rest of your days, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much again for checking out today's episode. And if you are listening through iTunes, Spotify, wherever you are, please leave me a rating and review. Let me know what you loved, what you would like to see improved, or ideas you have for future episodes. And if you are interested in taking your business to the next level, don't hesitate to go to my website, www.scottaaron.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me, where I can learn more about you, your business, what you're struggling with, and how we can work together. And don't forget to check out my wife, Nancy, and mine, our free community on Facebook called LinkedIn Leads for Life. We would love to see you in there. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you, everyone, for your support. Grateful for each and every one of you.